Hello, my name is Kumalo, and I'm a martyr. Alright, it is. A spirit that cannot die. Now I know you think you're all educated. You sitting there, you got your diploma, and you got your degree. You had your graduation. But I like you to be like a little child today. Just like if a little child were to do something wrong, you wouldn't start using these big words and start, using these big terms and this educated mindset and this, manner to raise the child or to reprimand the child. You really just tell the child simply as simple for them to understand. And I guess that's really what it's all about. So if you look around and you see there's a lot of hype about education and how you need to race to become successful, to become a better person, how you're supposed to not waste time and not play around, Bear in mind it's all very formal, very militant, yes sir, yes ma'am, report card, move on to this stage. And I guess it really is a game. It's just like you go and you watch a game at your stadium when Chiefs and Pirates is playing. It's the same thing. It's just now I can't help it. There's just people out there that they just feel like they want to play God. And so what they do now is they playing with people. All right. While there are people out there playing football, chasing a soccer ball, there's also people out there playing people ball. And they busy chasing after your ass and my ass. And why I say that is because, I mean, all this, I gotta get this, I gotta get me a house, I gotta get me a car, I gotta get me clothes, I gotta get me, this independence, and I gotta get me, and all it really means is that the so-called gods of this world, they winning. It means they 1-0 ahead. All right, and I'll tell you why, because all that stuff. Remember when you came here on earth, you asked to come here on earth. You came down here, and I say down here because you're such a wonderful being. You're an enlightened being. Enlightened being light, and so you came down here on earth, and when you came down here on earth, you came here to experience as much as possible, because obviously you were a spirit, and so now that you're here, and it really, be open-minded here. That's what I'm asking you. Be open-minded here and be like a little child. And think about it. If you ask to come down here, then it only makes sense for you to ask to leave here, But that's where the game is when they say play the game. Because you see, how you going to leave when you all attached and everything is about you having this and possessing this? And we all know what happens when you start, take it for example when you buy a beautiful house, a mansion, and you got these beautiful cars, and you got these beautiful plasma screen TVs, they keep you there. You don't want to move anywhere else. You want to stay right there next to all those, materialistic things. And so that's how the game is played. What they do is they only let you just taste a bite, take a bite of the apple. They don't really let you have the whole entire apple. But they have you chasing your entire life. And that's what it means that when they say that somebody can die 1,000 deaths, is that they can keep you here. And that's how the game works. They can keep you here, and you can forget. You can forget why you're here. And really really, if you look at it, a spirit that cannot die. I think that's worse than racism. That's worse than rape. That's worse than apartheid. That's worse than poverty. That's just the worst sin against mankind, because here you are, you thinking, um, they got you thinking, that you got to go to school, and meanwhile the school is teaching you how to die, basically. And what I mean by that is, you ever come across little kids? I always like using little stories about kids, because if you look at kids are very simple. Kids will always show you like the big picture of what's really going on. I mean, kids will always show you what society is really amounting to, what parents are doing behind closed doors. And so you'll always see kids playing, and one kid will say something stupid, like instead of saying pretend, they'll say pretend, and the other kids will laugh, and did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Or one kid would sing a song, and instead of saying, we jamming, I hope you like jamming too, Bob Marley's song, they'll be like, we jamming, I hope you like margarine too. And the other kids will start mocking that kid, talking about how you ain't clever, you ain't smart, you stupid. And now being not intelligent, being not educated, if I put it that way, is not the new sin. Now you're a sinner if you don't go to school, if you don't get some kind of education, if you don't get a certificate, if you don't get this, if you don't get, you're basically seen as just this failure in life. And so what happens now is, this is not the kids' fault. Remember, the kids monkey see, monkey do. They just see what's really going on. And so if you look at this education system, I really think this education system is really a joke, because it's basically slanted towards materialistic. If you talk to kids about education and you telling them how they gonna just keep going and passing and becoming doctors, the first thing that comes to mind is how much money they gonna make, how a comfortable life they gonna live, how not disadvantaged they're not gonna be. You will not hear the kids happy to say that they're gonna have wisdom, that they're gonna be righteous and be able to think of the moral things in society. Kids are not gonna run around going to school because they want to be good decision makers, or they want to fight for justice. Nah, it's really because the education system has got them where they want them, and it's a game. And so a spirit that cannot die, I think that's what most of us are going through without knowing.